Well, thank you for the introduction. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Many of you know me as a morning person, or if you don't know at all, I usually wake up at about 5 in the morning every day. You guys might think, wait, then how many hours of sleep do you still get, Ken? Well, believe it or not, I still get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, as I usually go to bed around 10 p.m. When I tell people about this, a very common reaction is, Ken, what do you do when you wake up so early in the morning? Why do you wake up so early? Are you crazy, Ken? Well, before I answer these questions, let me take you back to about 2 to 3 years ago when I was studying for my SPM. I wasn't like this back when I was in high school. I used to sleep around 1 to 2 or even 3 a.m. and having to wake up 6 a.m. the same day to rush to school. I was always so tired back then, and I can still remember telling myself every morning when I reached school this. Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna die young. I always slept during classes to the point where my desk mate even asked me, Ken, why do you always sleep in class? I thought she was concerned about me. But before I could continue dreaming, she then continued. Ken, don't you know that I am tired too? Don't you think that I want to sleep too? If both of us sleep, who will be taking notes in the class? Talk about teamwork, guys. One day, her dad was driving her to school, and they stopped next to a car as they were waiting for the light to turn green. She looked across, and she could see a boy. Head banged against the window, mouth face up and wide open, just like this. Having the time of his life sleeping. She then told her dad, Hey dad, look at that boy. Yeah, that's my desk mate. It was that bad. About 8 months ago, after I completed my A-levels and was taking break from studies, I chanced upon a book entitled 5 a.m. Club. Now the name of this book already tells you what it is all about. It explains to you the benefits of waking up early and the importance of having a morning routine. Now I don't usually read a lot of books, but this was one of the books that really kept me going until I finished it. And I decided to try out this so-called 5 a.m. morning routine. But the only problem of that was that I was back in Petaling Jaya, back at home, where I was always distracted by different entertainments, different social groups, and different reasons for me to sleep late. See, for you to wake up early, you have to go to bed early. That's how it is. But there's just no way for me to do it until I came here. A brand new start, where no one knows who am I. I saw this opportunity and I decided to take this opportunity. I planned out my morning routine to be like this. For the first 20 minutes, head to the bathroom, shower and get dressed. Followed by 20 minutes of devotion, which is something like prayer, reading the Bible, meditation, and another 20 minutes of reading. I was determined to try out this morning routine. I wrote it down on a paper and I stick it onto my wall. Until now, it's still there. That night, I went to bed at 10 p.m. And I have to admit to you, I couldn't really sleep at first. I was rolling around the bed, but eventually I did fall asleep. The next morning came. It was 5 a.m. The alarm woke me up. I was so tired, I didn't even know what was I doing so early in the morning. Anyway, I dragged myself to the bathroom and I jumped into a cold shower. I don't know how many of you take cold shower in the morning, but I was literally freezing during the cold shower. I was jumping. Well, I carried on my routine. I ate breakfast at 6 and until 7, I was done. I was done with my routine. Back then, when I first started this morning routine, university haven't started. And I was wondering to myself, what am I supposed to do now? That's where it hit me. I was awake. I was ready to take on the day while so many other people are still asleep. There was just so much time for me to do my work. I would like to share a few things with you all. Now, the first thing is called proactive. Everyone in this room, say with me, proactive.
Proactive.
Right. After we wake up, the last thing that we want to do is intentionally freeze ourselves, especially the first thing in the morning. But in my case, the first thing that I do after I wake up is jump into a cold shower. According to an online newsletter by Medical News Today, Taking cold shower brings about many, many benefits, such as improved immunity, increased alertness, boosted mood, and I could just go on. Taking cold shower not only helps us in building mental toughness, but also helps us build proactiveness. It subconsciously helps us build this habit of proactiveness that when we apply in our lives can be a game changer. Let me give you an example. When we were given our assignments, how many of us here do it the very, very last minute? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, I can't really see, but I see quite many hands raised up. Well, when we do it the very last minute, we constantly find ourselves in a mess. But here's the funny thing. We are still capable of finishing it on time. Why is that so? It's because that we know if we don't do it on time or before the deadline, we'll get into big trouble. The same applies here. When we jump into a cold shower, we are entering the so-called flight or fight mode. We instantly become so awake that we no longer feel the feeling of comfort. And that is the sign of us stepping out of our comfort zone. And that habit can be applied into our lives. When we were given our assignments, the decisions that we make on when do we want to start our assignments has a lot to do with the proactiveness level of that person. In my opinion, if you are able to put yourself in such an uncomfortable situation, the first thing in the morning, theoretically, you will be able to handle any task that is given to you. From then on, we start to take our problem heads on. We attack the day. We stop waiting around for things to happen to us. Then only we react to them. We start taking control of our lives. Start deciding what should and what should not happen to us. We start being more productive. Which leads me to my second point. Now, everyone say with me, productive.
Productive.
I have another question to ask. How many of us stay up late to game, to chat, to watch movies, and to Netflix? How many of us does that? Can I see a show of hands? Well, I see many hands up. Right. Let's switch it up a bit. How many of us wake up early in the morning, as early as 5 a.m. to do the same thing? To watch movie, to chat, to game, and to Netflix. Anybody does that early in the morning? I see a few hands, but I'm guessing you stay up late until 5 a.m. to do that, right? Yeah, I'm guessing so. You see, when you wake up at 5 a.m. or you wake up so early in the morning, there are literally so few distractions. Your friends are asleep. There are no new notifications, no new Instagram posts. Trust me, there aren't. All that's left for you to do is to do your work, to work on yourself in any way possible. Actually, you're just shifting your working time from night to morning. But there are so many distractions at night that it is literally impossible for us to focus, especially if you know that you are someone that lacks self-discipline. Some of us here might say, but Ken, I can't do work in the morning. I can only study better at night. True. I used to study better at night too. But that was because I had no other choice. I had to wait for others to be asleep. Then only I could focus. Perhaps the reason why you are not able to wake up early and do your work in the morning is simply because you haven't tried or you are not used to it yet. If you sleep at 2 a.m. and wake up at 9 a.m. for class, compared to sleeping at 10 p.m. and waking up at 5 a.m., you still get the same 7 hours of sleep. But what is the key difference between these two scenarios, my friends? Well, the key difference here is health, which leads me to my third and final point. Health. Meow. Well, everyone say with me, health.
Health.
Right. All of us know this fact. No matter where you are from and no matter how old you are, you know that sleeping late is unhealthy for you. For starters, do you always struggle in finding time to sleep? Are you always complaining that you do not have enough sleep? One of the many benefits, and in my opinion, the biggest benefit of waking up early is the ability to sleep early. Some of us here be like, what? That's the biggest benefit of all? Yes, it's true. If you wake up at 5 a.m. and have a productive day, most likely at the end of the day, you'll be super tired. And you will be able to fall asleep easily. Have a better sleep cycle. And sleep is important for us. Waking up early can also help us build healthier eating habits. I'm sure many of us can relate to this experience. You sleep late, the next day you wake up, oh gosh, we're late for class. We get panicked, we run to the bathroom, 1 second later we're out. Nope, today we're not going to take a shower, we're not going to brush our teeth, we're not going to do anything. We pack our stuff and we head to class immediately, and we skip breakfast. Men's Fitness magazine has suggested that skipping breakfast results in reduced learning, reduced attention, causes to get fat, and many more. Besides, there can be many side effects from not getting enough sleep in your 20s too. It causes us to be super exhausted throughout the day, disrupt with our sleep cycle, and we become less alert about our surrounding. It may even affect our brain functionality to process information and retain memory. It may even be the reason why some of us here are feeling stressed and depressed. It may even affect the quality of our life just by not getting enough sleep. If you feel so deprived of sleep, most likely you won't have the energy to go and work out or to do some outdoor activities to keep yourself healthy. And I believe some of us here can relate to the experience. I fell sick some time ago as I was not committed in taking care of my body well. I wasn't working out often, I wasn't sleeping well, and eventually I fell sick. It was horrible. My whole body was aching, and I just could not get myself together. And eventually, I had to skip class that day. Well, that was just the first part. The next day, when I went to class, I had to catch up on so much work. How many of us had this experience? You skip class one day, and on the next class, you have no idea what on earth is the lecturer talking about. Can I see a show of hands? How many of us have had this experience? I see many hands. Well, some of us here might even say, yeah, I don't skip class. I also don't know what the lecturer is talking about. Doesn't make a difference. Yeah. We all know what happens if we skip class. There's going to be a ton of work waiting for us to do. I believe there has to be a better way to live. There has to be a better way to make good use of our lives to bring benefits to others. But we can't do that if we ourselves are the ones needing help. I believe someone in this room needs to hear this. You might be asking, Ken, what are you talking about? We are in our 20s. Aren't we supposed to go out and party? This is a time of our lives. You're asking us to wake up early. Isn't waking up early what old people does? Are you crazy? Friends, in a few more years, we will graduate, carry on with our lives, step foot into society and face different kind of challenges. Probably by that time, you have many other worries to worry for. Your bills to pay for, your boss, your work, your spouse, your children's finances, and the list just goes on. My point is this: if you were to start a new habit, would you rather you do it now or would you do it later? This is the best time for us to impart good habits into our lives. Do not let this opportunity slip past, my friends. We can make good use of this opportunity to help us build new habits and new skills, shaping us into someone that we dream of in the future, starting from today. I hope this talk really serves you all and brings values to you all. Only after about 3 months trying out this new morning routine, I could only wake up at 5 a.m. for consistently a week. Only after 3 months, I was able to do it for a week. It was definitely difficult at first. I struggled so much. Later on, I messed up. Sometimes I just could not sleep. I was rolling around the bed. Sometimes I was just too tired. But eventually, I got it. And let me close with a quote that I think will bring all this back together. Change in the beginning is hard, messy in the middle, but glorious at the end. Thank you all. My name is Ken.